Painting that I am sharing with you right now was started in 1997 when my children and I painted our way around the world. John was 7 years of age and Christopher was 20 in 1997. And we totally enjoyed Bali. And this was a scene that was started on location in Bali. It was also featured in a movie. I can't quite recall the name of it, but it was a delightful movie. It's a famous surfing place. There's a hostel that one could stay at for a very minimal amount of money, where young people who were traveling throughout the world would stop. The surfers, of course, would stop there too. The board that you see here in the picture that I am sharing with you, that is when I started the painting on location. I'm being distracted while working on that. And someday, if you ask me, I'll tell you what was distracting me. And I'm not looking at the painting. I'm not looking at what I'm painting. And this was another view of that area. This is a deck in front of a hostel where one could sleep in almost like open rooms where for something like $5 a night or something. And here we are again painting a Tana lot, which is a Buddhist temple that's totally surrounded by water. And back again on the work that I am offering you at a very excellent value. Actually, this is back at Tana lot 2, my mistake. It's hard to believe that Jonathan in this photograph is now like 6'4" or 5". He was 7 years of age. He sold over 20 of his paintings before he was 8, up to $500. He's a very gifted, intelligent young man. We stopped in Australia to visit some very good friends, and John's holding the koala bear there, and Chris is down there, and Dad. And here we're painting one of the waterfalls that I have in my collection that is also for sale. The kids already sold theirs. But I kept some of these in my own collection, and kind of the trip was so wonderful. And so I'll write down the general particulars of the sale as far as the price is concerned. It's a 24 by 30 and I normally sold at $4,000. And I'm more on a spiritual journey, so whenever I need a little bit of money, I'll take one of my pieces that I've enjoyed for years and had wonderful memories with, and we'll put it on the market at more than a reasonable price for you, which I will chat with you about. On this wall here is another important painting, started in France, not far from Giverny. It's Morning on the Seine. In the early, early morn. I was actually in a boat when I painted that. Very peaceful and very beautiful. So that is another one of the 24 by 30s. And the other one that is going to be available is this one here. I'm very fond of the south of France, along the Côte d'Azur. And Antibes in particular is a delightful city. Not far from Cagnes-sur-Mer and Nice. Renoir lived on a hill in Cagnes-sur-Mer, not far from here, and I did quite a bit of painting there. The castle that you see there and there were flags, French flags out on the promenade, was the Picasso Castle, where they had a wonderful collection of the work that he did while he was there. And you'll always find a sailboat out in the Mediterranean. I met delightful people who were working on this. It was a wonderful experience. Now this will be another of the 24 by 30s that will be available. I'm no longer doing the my Holy Land sale until I get myself in good physical shape where I'm capable of walking and climbing mountains if need be. My Holy Land will be anywhere where God is, where I'm reaching out to help people with His loving care, to bring them peace and to bring them God. Some people bring the hosts. I tell them I bring the Spirit. When people ask me if I'm a priest, I said, no, I'm just a disciple. I love the Word of God, especially what's found in the New Testament that's inscribed and read. But I have respect for all religions and have this next to impossible job of trying to be a peacemaker between the children of Abraham. But it's worth the effort. Now the final painting of these four is one from Manet's Pond at Giverny. Down in my studio, I've been working on a major triptych of Giverny for many, many years. I used to fly over for a couple times a year just to do studies on the other one. It's 5 by 12 feet, or by 9 feet or something like that. And it's a work of love and a work of art. So these four will be available at $1,400, which is considerably less than the $4,000. And a 77. These represent works that are not my seascapes, they're beyond my seascapes, and it shows the growth that I've experienced. And when I sell one or two of these, I'll put the other one back off the market again. Every now and then I need to catch up on things like pay my medical bills at the VA and other things of that nature. Make sure my telephone's not turned on or not turned off, or my electricity. I've really been more involved in my spiritual journey that is just totally wonderful. Totally wonderful. And so I'll go take a quick peek out into my studio. And behind Mary back there is a triptych that it's my intent to finish the triptych that you see behind there before I eventually sell my home and finally get that boat that I've been wanting to work on. Painting the Carmelite Monastery in progress, another one of the Lone Cypress that was a prayer painting. In my studio. I'm very much into loving ladies in reference to all ladies, all mothers, and it primarily inspired by my love of my own mother and my wife too, and and Mother Mary. My attitude is that Jesus, when he was here on earth, like any other good man, loved his mom, which was evident when he was dying on the cross and he asked John to take care of his mother and for his mother to take care of John. In a strange sort of way, God seems to take care of me too, when answers my needs and Once in a while people create problems for me, and I don't know, maybe there's an avenging angel or something, but you'll find in the Psalms where it says if anybody tries to do you damage, they'll come back to them. And I've seen that happen time and time again. Almost like clockwork. It's not my desire to harm anyone, but sometimes I think when people inadvertently do things that are not pleasing to God, they're faced with the response from God. Sometimes say, does God operate in mysterious ways? And boy, does he ever. But let us all love God with all our hearts and souls, and he'll love you and treat you wonderfully.